trade them. Keep your mouth shut, cause got ultimatums. Stupid situations, the tongue often creates them. The motor mouth is usually causing mayhem.
Lil' tune, flow sinister, I'ma finish him. Many men gon' need ministers, I ain't mending them. Enemies, I'm the enema, I'ma on them. Just like my keys, drop my on our dinner work. My thoughts I keep confidential, it's consequential. Philosophies unidentical, I'm not into you. My Siamese brother Benjamin, that's how I stick to him. These diamond bees, all VVs, I call them Vivica. Skating underneath a bridge, stay hustling as it is. Make money, feed the kids, ain't nothing in the fridge. Wake up, repeat the sins, I need a 10, stay muddy to the lid, 800, eat a.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Never lied in my rhymes, you can go ask Jennifer. That's my mom's name. I create and find change. My mind frame ensures that forever I reign.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm ballin' like a vet. If you talking crazy, better say it with your chest. Hit 'em with the...
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the New England Patriots and the New Orleans Saints. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. On the return, Marcus Jones from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. That didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
Harris running straight ahead. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now here's another carry for Harris. And down he'll go at the 25. 7 yards there and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. On the give, this is Harris. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. This is Harris on the draw. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They hand this off to Harris. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run again with Harris. And some room to work. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 58 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
But they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll run with Strong. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll try and run with Harris. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Damian Harris, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Pats get the up. Hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Riley Patterson now for the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. There's Chris Olave finding space at the 40. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play on the catch and run covering 34 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape, because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Slot man moves right. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. 3rd and short yardage. Winston. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Saints are an extra point away from drawing level. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review. So they had it right. Lutz with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25. Actually, the 26 officially. So a net gain of 1 there. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. On second down, this is Harris. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And this offense on third down today, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing, Jones. And this is going to be incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out, and giving the ball back to their offense.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this kick will be touchdown as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Winston. He completes it to Olave. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his 1-on-2 matchup.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. The Saints had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
7 yards there and a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
They run it again with Kamara. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 47 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside.
Touchdown, Saints! Michael Thomas, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints have taken the lead.
CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better, and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Pats at the line, ready to go. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10
at their own 17-yard line. Off play action. Jones.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Winston. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
Kamara is in. Touchdown, New Orleans. So another touchdown for him on the year now, Charles. He had 2 in the opener last week, and hits pay dirt for a 3rd time here.
And with good health, he's got a really good chance to be up there among the leaders in touchdowns scored when this season comes to an end. Quick question, partner. Is it bad luck to toast him with a sports drink?
Not at all, partner. I think that's a fantastic idea. Cheers.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for 3rd. Back to throw. Jones. And he'll let this go deep for Bourne. And got his man complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Kendrick Bourne. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots are back within a score. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. To throw is Winston. Olave holds it in. Winston on target to Olave for the Saints first. Jameis to throw it. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll throw again. Winston. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
They'll find its tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 41-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Winston. A throw over the middle, taken in by Troutman. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Jameis again. That's complete to Troutman, right side. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Winston. Touchdown! 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2. And they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Patriots will take their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Looking to throw. Jones going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
A very limited time left to get into field goal range before the half, and they tried to get it all on one throw right there.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Back to throw. Jones Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. The final shot before break. Jones.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. A 10th carry for Kamara. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
74 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
The stop made defensively by Mike Edwards.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd and 9, Winston.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, Winston. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10.
He finds his man, complete. It's Ali. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll keep it on the ground. Ali, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
From the 29, Winston. And he rifles one incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Will Lutz now to try the New Orleans field goal. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They'll start the drive with Harris. And he's got some space here. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. 123 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run again with Harris. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
Patterson's kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Room here to run. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Kamara up the middle. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
35 yards that time on the punt, and the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Harris running straight ahead. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
They're going for it. This is Harris. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Winston now. Flush to his right. That is caught at the 7-yard line. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Play action now. Winston. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good red zone run there, 9 yards. And And it'll be 2nd and goal. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ballgame.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Saints, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town.